So my container might be this size. Sorry about a little free advertising. Black snakes are solitary animals. You don't often see more than one black snake at a time. You don't often see more than one snake at a time unless you're watching Indiana Jones, and then that's just gross. Ladies tend to be more socially connected than men. I don't care what they say, though. I think men are more gossipy than women are. But, connecting with other people is really important.
Welcome to the Wing Space Podcast, a place to take up space, where we talk about all things wellness, from nutrition to movement to sleep and stress, and so much more. With me, your host, Jennifer Voorhaar, along with special guests and experts within our Hope and Healing wellness community. Let's jump in.
This podcast is not a replacement for mental health treatment or professional health care. In case of crisis or emergency, please contact your local healthcare provider or dial 911.
Hey there, and welcome to season 6. Wow, we have recorded over 100 episodes of this podcast, and I am so glad that you are here. If you have not been with us for all of the 6 seasons, I would encourage you to go back and listen. What you're going to find is that there has been an interesting growth and development of the podcast. We started early days of the podcast using a phone, and sometimes the sound was not good at all. And here we are using some really great recording equipment. I even have a microphone down here, and here we are, season 6. So if you haven't listened to all of them, go back and listen to them. Some of those topics are great. Some of the topics repeat with new information, maybe a new guest here or there. My goal in starting this podcast 6 seasons ago, which I guess was 2 years ago, was we serve a lot of first responders. We serve a lot of people that their office is the vehicle in which they work. And there is a lot of stigma behind mental health. There's a lot of stigma behind seeking mental health services for first responders. And in talking with some of the clients that we serve at Hope and Healing, I thought maybe a podcast is a great way to get nuggets of information into the ears of those people that are not likely to come in for services, or at that time, not likely to come in for services. And we also serve people that are busy, right? We live in a busy world where we are multitasking. We have multiple kids in multiple sports going multiple directions. We're working, we're taking care of home. People might find themselves in what's called that sandwich generation, where they're caring for older parents and caring for children. We're busy people. And so when we're driving in the car, when we're cleaning the house, when we're going for a walk, we can stick those AirPods in. We can listen to a podcast. We can, again, grab nuggets of information. So here's what I'd also say. If you have been sticking around with me through 105 previous episodes, if I did my math correctly, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. I'd encourage you to go back. Maybe take a listen to some of those episodes before, maybe ones that you previously listened to. I guarantee you're going to get new information from. And we have also changed the frequency in which we are dropping these podcasts. So previously we were doing 2 to 3 a week. And we've decided we're going to pull that back to once a week and really focus on quality and content. And it goes back to that idea of being busy, right? Having the time to record, but also having the time to plan the content and schedule with our guests. Not to mention Les, our incredible editor, being able to edit all of those podcasts and have them drop on time for you. So you're going to find season 6 of the Wellness Wing podcast dropping wherever you follow along for podcasts on Wednesday. If you are following along on YouTube and you actually like to watch these podcasts, you're going to notice that the background is different. We have made some changes at Hope and Healing, and I'm going to share some of that with you today. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, you want to make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening on a podcast app, then you want to make sure that you follow or subscribe. And as always, share. You never know what content you might hear that might be helpful for someone else. Even if you don't find it helpful, somebody else might. So For those of you that are new here, let me give you a little bit of background. My name is Jennifer Voorhaar. I am a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a group fitness instructor. I am a private practice owner, wellness center owner. I'm a mom of two boys, teenagers, young adults. My husband's a retired law enforcement officer. And I'm going to speak to you as a person who wears all those hats and fits into all those roles. And you're also going to hear me referencing Hope and Healing Therapy and Wellness Center, which is the wellness center that I own and I am a therapist at. We're located in Southern Maryland in St. Mary's and Calvert County. We have 2 offices and a virtual space. So we are ever growing. And so the 5 pillars of wellness, you may have noticed within some of the podcasts, if you've listened for a while, or if you're just scrolling through some of the topics, we've touched on this before. And 5 pillars, if you Google it, you might find 4, you might find 10, or anything in between. And we settled into 5 because we think it's easy to remember. And you can also think about it with regards to the foundation of a home. So the 5 pillars of wellness, as we have identified them, are food, movement, sleep, stress, and relationships. So if you're thinking about a square building and you have 1 pillar on each corner and 1 in the middle, that foundation is strong. And if those pillars are strong, that house is going to withstand the storm. But if even one of those is weakened, it's going to cause a problem. And you might say, well, if the 4 on the outside are strong, the one in the middle is not going to matter unless all of a sudden it caves in, right? So you need that one in the middle so that it doesn't cave in on itself. It's really important that we are making sure that we are adjusting to and accommodating and paying attention to those 5 pillars of wellness. I'm going to say them again: food, nutrition, sleep, stress, and relationships. And I believe that they are all interconnected. And if you go back to season 5, we spent several episodes really diving into each one of these individually. But I just want to give you an idea of kind of what they are, how it works in your everyday life. So we all need food. I want to have you consider that food is fuel. Yes, food is used in celebratory situations, it's used in social situations, but the number one main reason why we consume food is to survive. So it is really important that we are consuming food, water, but we can just say beverages, right? Because we want to make sure that the food and the beverages that we are consuming are what our body needs. And what you need and what I need might be a little bit different. And I would just encourage you to consider that as the social media algorithms really play into all of the things, you're likely going to see very opposite and competing opinions on your social media algorithm. And, these wonderful little smartphones are great, but they listen to us. And so I could make a mention of something very random and all of a sudden I'm going to start seeing that on my ads or when I Google or whatever. So just remember that with all of these things, what works for you might not work for me, and what works for me might not work for you. And oh, by the way, what used to work for you might not work for you now. And what works for you now might not work for you in the future. It is ever changing because your body is ever changing and influences around you are ever changing. Your stress is changing. The environment around you is changing. The influences of the people are changing. Your body is aging. And if you are in any stage of menopause, perimenopause or otherwise, you are going to want to listen up because I am about to tell you how you can spend 90 minutes a week working with a nutritionist, a therapist, that's me, and a pelvic floor physical therapist for less than what you just dropped at the grocery store. You're going to want to jump into our second 6-week series of The Flame, where we are taking on menopause with power, pride, and purpose. We meet once a week for 90 minutes, 6 Tuesdays in a row, starting September 16th. We get started with Carlin for 40 minutes of low impact movement. It is curated for strengthening, lengthening, and targeting the pelvic floor.
We move on to Fueling Up with Tracy, who brings with her a bounty of nutrition support, supplemental education, and a closer look at body composition and weight management. Then we close each session chatting with me, a licensed therapist, and your fellow group members for discussion on the impacts of menopause on mental health and an opportunity to connect with your fellow community members. Now, if you're watching this before September 8th, you are in luck because our early bird registration is open and flame enrollment is available for $179. Yeah, that's it. Less than $30 a session, 6 sessions with 3 wellness experts. And we are anticipating this series to sell out, so you better not delay. Share this post with someone that you would love to bring along with you and visit our profile for the link to sign up.
So lots of great content from our certified nutrition specialist, Tracy Pritchard. She is a guest on many of our episodes. She's also got some great free content over at our website, hopehealingtherapy.com. There's some great free printables with regards to food. Movement. So I mentioned when I gave you my little introduction that I am a group fitness instructor. And part of the reason why I became a group fitness instructor was because I started Hope and Healing 7 years ago. When you are listening to this episode, we are right at the end of August, going into September of 2025, where we will celebrate 7 years. And when I opened Hope and Healing 7 years ago, I knew that it was vital that we included more than just sitting on a couch and a chair face to face, looking at each other and talking. There's more to healing than talk therapy. And so I, from the very beginning, included walk and talk therapy. There is lots of great research about how bilateral stimulation of the brain. So when you're walking, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, you're stimulating the opposite parts of your brain. And that bilateral stimulation can be healing for the neurological networks that are impacted when we experience trauma. I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't even play one on TV, but that's why I included, as a trauma therapist, a person that specializes in working with people who have survived trauma, that walk and talk therapy was vital. And then that just got me thinking, there's got to be more to it. And so I had the privilege of becoming a group fitness instructor through a faith-based fitness ministry called Revelation Wellness. They have tons and tons of free resources online. I'll make sure that we drop it in the show notes so you can check them out over at revelationwellness.org. Just a free plug for them. They are a faith-based fitness ministry. And so I received certification through them. And one of the key things that I kind of learned, and I'm developing the ideas in how we can incorporate this within the work that we do, is that when we move our body, so moderate exercise, not just getting up and walking to the pantry or getting up and walking to the bathroom or, parking our car and walking into the house, but when we do moderate exercise, like 10 to 15 minutes, an intentional walk at the least, right? Some moderate exercise, our brain begins to release endorphins that have the same impact on our brain as antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. Now, hear me say this. Do not stop taking your medications if you are a person who is prescribed antidepressants or anti-anxiety medications. Don't stop taking them and say, I'm just going to go exercise. But I would encourage you to start exercising, see how that, and be consistent with it. Consistency is the key. You can't just work out once a week. Consistency is the key. Move your body, make a journal and keep a log of how you feel, and then talk to your prescriber. So movement is one of the tools that we have, complementary alternative intervention. Some people call them CAMs, complementary alternative modality, for treatment because movement helps. The other thing that happens is when we experience trauma and stress, it creates energy in our body. And the only way to get that energy out is to physically get it out, whether that's through like an angry outburst or through talking about it or through crying or, a rage room or punching something or going for a run. If we are not intentional about the release of that energy, our body is going to do it. And I always use the silly example of, you're going to start crying in the grocery store aisle because they don't have your brand of spaghetti sauce. But the reality is, there are times when we snap and we don't even know why. And it's because our bucket is full. I was explaining this to somebody yesterday because the question was, why is this all of a sudden bothering me? And we're going to take this into the third pillar, which is stress, but we're going to talk about that. So all of us have a capacity to manage stress. And someone might say, well, how come all of a sudden I can't handle what I used to be able to handle? Well, let's just say that this is our container in which we carry our stress. I don't know, this mug is maybe a 10-ounce mug. So I can handle 10 ounces of stress. But I can't handle 10 ounces of stress if there's already 2 ounces in here. So if I'm holding on to stress and I'm not moving my body, sleeping, fueling my body, drinking plenty of water, engaging in healthy coping skills and habits and routines, and I still have stress in this container, if I put 10 ounces of stress in it, it's going to overflow. And that's when we lose control. We feel like we lose control. So, movement helps us to release stress and energy from our body so that our container in which we hold it has more space, right? Because that's never stopping. Stress and experience of, let's say, little t traumas, that's not changing. But our capacity for it can as we manage things. If we are feeding and fueling our body and we're moving our body the way that our body needs to be moved, I don't care if you walk, if you run, if you lift weights, if you bicycle, mountain bike, dance, Zumba, ballroom dancing, you do you, boo. What brings you joy is what is going to work for you. You are going to be more likely to be consistent with something that you enjoy. If you absolutely hate running and the whole time you're getting ready for running and the whole time that you're running and the whole time after running, all you're thinking about is how much you hate it, you're literally filling your brain cells with hate.
This season, give yourself the gift of renewal with the Fall Wellness Reset from Hope and Healing, a 5-week holistic program designed to refresh your routines, nourish your body, and strengthen your mind. Over the course of 5 weeks, you'll receive the tools, structure, and support you need to make lasting changes, all guided by an expert team, a licensed therapist, a registered nutritionist, and a certified personal trainer who are here to help you thrive. Your reset includes 5 live virtual coaching sessions, curated meal plans and recipes, weekly mailed wellness trackers, a supportive WhatsApp accountability group, and a free fitness or yoga class at the Wellness Wing Studio, plus exclusive class pack discounts to keep your momentum going. You'll also get a few surprises delivered to your door along the way, because wellness should feel rewarding. And the best part, you can join from anywhere and move at your own pace, while staying connected to a community that's rooting for you every step of the way. The Fall Wellness Reset kicks off Sunday, September 14th and runs through October 18th with weekly Sunday evening coaching calls that will help you refuel your body, reframe your mindset, and rebuild the habits that keep you grounded. This fall, let go of what's weighing you down and step into a season of possibility. Visit hopehealingtherapy.com to secure your spot today and join us for 5 weeks of guidance, growth, and transformation. The Fall Wellness Reset, 5 weeks, 1 season, and the start of your strongest self.
And then after the run, you're still filled with hate or discontent. Do what makes you happy, regardless of what the algorithms are saying that you should do, because we're not going to should on ourselves. Got that? We're not shoulding on ourselves. So we're feeding and fueling our body. We're moving our body. We're going to work on some stress and we will be able to sleep. Some people say, oh, I only need about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Baloney. I call horse malarkey on that. Biologically, we all need 7 to 9 hours of sleep. A lot of research is showing that women, especially women in perimenopause age, need like 8 to 10 hours of sleep, whereas men tend to need more like the 7 to 9. And children need more sleep. So Parents of teenagers, there's a reason why your kid is going to bed at midnight and sleeping till noon. They need sleep. Think about what happens in the first year of life. Our kids go from, I don't know, 5 to 8 pounds and 20 some inches long, right? To 25 pounds and they've doubled their length or their height. I mean, that's an incredible thing that happens. My 17-year-old is 165 pounds, solid lean muscle, right? He weighed 8 pounds, 15 ounces, 20 inches long. He is 5'9", 165 pounds. Sorry, I'm calling you out, bud. His body is working hard to do all of those things. When do we rest, restore, repair, and grow? When we sleep. So I'm sorry, parents of teenagers. I know it's annoying that our kids are sleeping 10 and 12 hours. Their bodies need it. Little babies need it too, all the way up to teenagers, and they start to need less sleep. The same thing happens as we get older. As we get older, we tend to sleep more like during the day and take little naps to rest and restore to help get us through the next portion of the day. That's why older people tend to take little cat naps, maybe sleep less during the evening time, but then they're taking little cat naps. Anyway, lots of great stuff about sleep. Feeding, fueling, moving our body. We have to make sure that our stress levels are down. We cannot remove stress. There is a episode in season 5 about stress. And again, we talk about the container, right? So we all have a container. And also, all of our containers are a little bit different in size. So my container might be this size. Sorry about a little free advertising. Someone else's container might be this size. And oh, by the way, somebody else's container might be this size, right? So for those of you that didn't get the visual, a coffee cup size, a big Wawa cup size, and then a big Yeti, 32-ounce size. All of us have a different size capacity for holding that stress. And if we're not actively emptying the container, then as we continue to put stuff in, it's just going to overflow. Healthy routines and habits, I am a stickler for that. Doing the same things every single day can be super, super helpful for your body to just know what's happening, to know what's coming, to be consistent with those routines, to not forget to do something important. And it puts less stress on us when we're doing the same thing and we know what's coming next, rather than just every day looks different. Obviously, I'm a huge proponent for therapy, coping skills, problem solving, all of the things. And then the last component of our 5 pillars, relationships, it's so vitally important that we are engaging with other people. We as humans are social beings. There are some animals out there that are solitary animals. I saw an Instagram reel this morning about this big giant black snake that was in somebody's chicken coop trying to eat the eggs. Black snakes are solitary animals. You don't often see more than one black snake at a time. You don't often see more than one snake at a time unless you're watching Indiana Jones, and then that's just gross. Snakes are solitary animals. We are not solitary animals. We are communal animals, and we do best in community with other people. So making sure that we are having touch points with other people. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it said that an 8-minute conversation with a friend can change your day. And I want you to think about that. If you have a 30-minute drive home, you get in the car, you get situated, you get on the road, you call a friend, you chat with a friend on the way home. By the time you get home, you're not even thinking about that stressful day that you just had, right? You've connected with your friend. Ladies tend to be more socially connected than men. I don't care what they say, though. I think men are more gossipy than women are. But, connecting with other people is really important. So, I try every month to have a lunch or a coffee date with a friend, to go out to dinner with my girlfriends, to have a date night with my husband, to do something fun with my whole, my husband and my kids, having relationships, going to church, having a relationship with my church family, having a relationship with God or whatever your faith belief is. All of those things are vital to that foundation, 5 pillars: food, movement, sleep, stress, relationships. So you're going to see that throughout the next season. We have got some really great guests. We've already recorded a couple of episodes while I'm recording this one. We've already recorded a couple of them, and I'm really excited for what's to come. And I'm really excited about what's happening at Hope and Healing. I mentioned, for those of you that can see, I'm in a different space. My background looks a little different. I've been in our Leonardtown spaces for the last 7 years, and in an effort to expand and shift over there, I have moved over to our Prince Frederick location and have kind of an office slash meeting area here. And then we have our other 2 offices. So we've got some really exciting stuff going on. We've got some new services coming. We've got some new programming. We have a new wellness coordinator that just joined our team. I explained to people that we have 2 umbrellas at Hope and Healing. We have the Hope and Healing, it's called therapy and wellness, right? So we have the therapy umbrella, we have our wellness umbrella, and the community has really embraced us and has trusted us with mental health services. And we are looking for the same trust in our wellness services in the years that we've been getting and in the years to come. So really fun, exciting stuff happening. I cannot believe it's been 7 years. Lucky number 7, right? It's got to be a good one. And I'm excited for what will come on the podcast. So I want to leave you with this. If you want to get the best bang for your buck, stack what you can: food, movement, sleep, stress, relationships, right? So consider, I'm going to say it's a day that you're not working for those of you that work full time. So let's just say it's a Saturday morning, no kids sports, whatever. You're going to wake up feeling refreshed because you went to bed at a reasonable time the night before. You're going to wake up, you're going to have a healthy breakfast, maybe make yourself a smoothie, maybe like a veggie omelet, some sausage, I don't know, some fruit. You're going to have a nice breakfast. You're going to have your water. You're going to go for a walk while you're either with or talking to a friend. Boom. Food, movement, sleep, stress, relationships. Think about the bang for your buck. And I really think that going for a walk or for a run or for a bike ride is kind of like the trifecta, because you're moving your body, you're getting fresh air, you're getting sunshine. Throw in a friend and you've just got like the cherry on top. So I would encourage you, whenever you're listening to this, find some time in the next week to go for a walk, get some sunshine, get some fresh air, invite a friend to go along. Maybe you're going to consider where one of those pillars are, that you can add a little bit of extra love to shore it up and feel a little bit more confident in one of those areas. Stick around for the podcast because we're going to give you lots of ideas. We're also going to share some programming stuff that's coming at Hope and Healing. And I'm just excited for the 7th year. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for being here. Again, like and subscribe, share this episode, and stick around because the 7th year is going to be a great one. The 6th season is going to be fabulous. Thanks for listening and have a great day.